Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon of all. Welcome to the VOC4SI Level Up 2 webinar with the theme From Campus to Career, Why ESG Matter to You. We are truly delighted to have you all here today in this virtual room. This event is proudly organized by Public Sektor Accounting Study Program, Faculty of Vocational Studies, Universitas Sumatera Utara. First of all, let me greet our guest and participant on this event, the Honorable Mr. Sambas Ade Kesuma, SAMSE PhD, AKCA, Head of the Public Sector Accounting Study Program, Faculty of Vocational Studies, Universitas Sumatera Utara, and our honored speaker, Dr. Choat Inthawongse, who will be sharing valuable insight with us today. Good morning, sir. And respected lecturers of all Faculty of Vocational Studies and in Sumatera Utara, especially in Universitas Sumatera Utara, and all participants and students who have joined us this morning. Thank you for all being here today for this important webinar. My name is Julina Vitasari, and it is an honor for me to serve as your host and moderator as well for today's webinar. Before we begin, please make sure your microphone are mute and your cameras are turned on if possible, because it's wonderful to see your enthusiasm. Okay, the webinar theme is From Campus to Career, Why ESG Matters to You, which highlights the growing importance of environmental, social, and governance, a factor as you prepare to embark on your career. We are excited to have expert and inspiring speakers with us today who will share insight on how you can integrate ESG into your future careers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to start our event in the spirit of unity and pride for our nation, let's all sing together the Indonesia Raya anthem. Everyone, please join in. Thank you, everyone. Now, to bless today's event, let us bow our heads for prayer. The prayer will be led by Mr. Luhur Budi Prayogo. To Mr. Luhur, the screen is yours.
Wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a moment to bow our heads in a prayer to God Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, seeking His blessings for the smooth and meaningful conduct of our webinar this morning. I will lead this prayer in accordance with Islamic teachings. For those who are not Muslims, you are welcome to pray according to your own faith or belief. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuafini yama'u wa yukafi'u mazida. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa azmi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma ya Allah, today, in this beautiful setting, we gather virtually for VOC4SI Level Up Volume 2, 10, from campus to career, why ESG matters to you. May Allah bless this webinar and make it a source of knowledge and inspiration for all of us. May it enrich our minds, broaden our perspectives, and inspire us to become dedicated and productive individuals who uphold the dignity of our nation. Oh Allah, guide and bless our hearts and minds with the light of your guidance. Grant us wisdom in our thoughts, sincerity in our intentions, and excellence in our actions. May the knowledge we seek and share today bring benefit to ourselves and others. Help us to speak with clarity, to listen with understanding, and to uphold mutual respect and compassion, so that we may be among those whom you have blessed. Ya Allah, you alone have the power to answer our prayers. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luhur, for leading the prayer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a few words from the esteemed Mr. Sambas Ade Kesuma, SMSI PhD AKCA, Head of the Public Sector Accounting Study Program, Faculty of Vocational Studies, Universitas Sumatera Utara. To Mr. Sambas, we kindly invite you to deliver your speech.
Right, thank you so much, Ms. Uli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning, everyone. So, our distinguished speaker, Dr. Choat, and also from MCRU, from Muban, Chom, Bueng, Rajabhat University, Thailand, and also our wonderful moderators today, Miss Julie Novita, aka Miss Uli, and also respected lecturers, and also my dear students. Welcome to VOC4SI Level Up Volume 2. So, for your information, this program is also one of our flagship program. Our objective of our program is to gather together all of practitioners and all academicians all around the world to get to share their knowledge, share their thought, and also share their experience. So today our theme or our topics is about from campus to career, why ESG matters to you. So this topic reminds us that success today is not about profit or even grades. So it's about purpose. As a future accountants and business leaders, we are part of that change. So our work will go beyond numbers, and it will be divine how business grow responsibly and sustainably. So today, I invite you to listen actively, ask smart questions, and imagine how ESG value can guide your own career journey. Once again, thank you to Dr. Choat for joining us across borders, and our gratitude to him and also all of colleagues from the MCRU to support us, and to Miss Julie. Thank you, Miss Uli, for moderating our inspiring session. And because here at VOC4SI, our goal is to help you level up, to be skilled, mindful, agile, ready, and trusted. Once again, thank you and enjoy the session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to you, Miss Uli.
Okay. Thank you very much for Mr. Ade Sambasadi Kusuma for your kind words and encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the main event, let me introduce our honorable speaker, Dr. Choat Inthawongse. Is it correct, sir, to pronounce your name?
Yeah, correct. The last name just Inthawong, the SE has no sound, though. But that's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, everyone. Dr. Choat holds a PhD in Industrial and System Engineering from Lehigh University, where he developed an innovative cognitive computing framework for optimization problems. He also completed his master's in engineering management from Burapha University and his bachelor's in industrial engineering from Kasetsart University. Currently, Dr. Choat is a lecturer in the Faculty of Industrial Technology at Muban, Chom, Bueng, Rajabhat University, where he teaches course on advanced manufacturing technology, industrial management, and artificial intelligence. He also serves as a visiting professor at Sila Pakorn University. Dr. Choat is an active researcher with significant publication in optimization and cognitive computing. He has received numerous awards, including the Royal Thai Scholar and Teaching Assistantship Awards at Lehigh University. He is also a member of professional organizations like IEEE, ACM, and INVOMS. We are honored to have him share his expertise with us today. We are honored to have you, sir, for joining our event today. Hopefully, one day you can join and come to Indonesia directly, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Uri, for the kind introduction. Thank you, Professor Sambas, for inviting me to be with you today. Hopefully, my speech can enhance your thought on what would you be your journey after your graduation. Before I start, let me ask quickly the audience, those who are students, what years are you on? Like junior, senior, freshman, or sophomore? Ms. Uli, what are the average audience that in the room with us today?
I think today social responsibility maybe, sir.
So are they undergrad, almost graduate, or midway to the class?
Graduate, undergraduate.
What year are they in? Like beginning or almost finished?
I think some beginning, some almost finished.
Okay, mixed. All right, very good. For those who respond to the link on the Mentimeter, thank you very much. For those who have not, please ask your peer if you are nearby, or I will share again in the chat box. We will come back to this in a little bit. So what I put as the feedback for the audience, hold on, let me see the chat. Thank you, the host. What I put for the audience is to get feedback from you at the beginning of the speech. And I would like to see what you think of the ESG word and what come to your mind or what reason that happening to you. So for today, we dive into the environmental, social, and governance. I myself just last week visit 2 factories with is highly regards in Thailand in terms of governance, good governance. one and very broad, different kind of company in Chiang Mai, up north, Thailand. One of the company is the food processing, and they distribute the sweet corn around the world. So as the new products around Thailand, and their headquarters is in Chiang Mai. The workers smiling all the day, and they run 24-hour shifts. I asked the owners, what happening here? Why people seem kind of very enjoying their work? The second company that I met just last week during the 4-day visits is the one that make the artificial teeth. And this company been around for 40 years. And since the beginning of the company start, they only have one accounting books. If you know you are accounting, some company may have the public version of the bookkeeping, and they have internal bookkeeping to run inside the company, which we not speak about in this public speech. But this company have one single book all along, and they have no problem at all when the Thai government would like to check how they grow so quick from the very small company to the company that as large as about 1,200 workers making dental artificial teeth and all the dental equipments. So we dive into that. The power of ESG, I highlighted in the header here. I put as the investing in better future, and I tailor to Indonesia. If some of the information not correct, you can bring my assistant, the artificial intelligence, and you can also correct me right away that what is the correct thought and correct way. I also put upon the ESG report one of the pretty good example of the report that you could study on, which in midway of the talk, I will share the link in the chat box as well. Beside the role as the academic, since May of this year, I start advising the Institute of Agro-Based Industries of the Federation of Thai Industries, Thailand. So what we do here is we are the national governing body for the PEFC, which we will dive into that, to do the control of the forestation and to license to work clearly. And at MCRU or Muban, Chom, Rajabhat University, we also run the graduate program in industrial technology management as well, in Master of Science and Doctor of Philosophy. So let me formally greet you, Salamat Pati, future leaders. I believe we all be future leaders of some sense in the future, and you all the hopes of our Southeast Asians. So I'm very glad that I have a chance to share the knowledge and experience with you today. As you are the next generation leaders, and definitely including us, professor, teachers, and me as well, we are consumers. We can shape our future. You can shape your Indonesian future. I can shape Thailand future. Together, we shape Southeast Asian future and make it stronger. Your choices today will determine the world we live in tomorrow. So the reason we are here is to explore the ESG in detail and to see that ESG can be powerful framework for addressing our biggest challenge while creating opportunities for your generations to come. So I dive deep into Indonesia a little bit, and I'm very pleased that 10 years ago, there's a lot of innovation going around. For example, the plastic bag biodegradable. So that can solve the plastic waste crisis. Bangkok as well, we have the same crisis, I think. And not surprised, Indonesian and Thailand, score of the ESG of one of the report with significant scientific proven steps that how they calculate the score. We are ranking almost the same, like almost equal points as well, but we are challenging different scenario. Jakarta River choked with plastic waste, affecting millions of lives and marine ecosystem. So this is one of the challenge that we as a next generation, we can change, right? Use less plastic when possible. When you walk around campus, you can reuse as much as you can, right? You can put away plastic waste in the proper bin on campus, or you can even form the club inside USC, and you start doing something. You never know what's happening next with the initial start. The second challenging is deforestation. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I believe this is the right rainforest, the Borinos rainforest disappearing, threatening biodiversity, and contributing to climate change. On contrary, compared to Thailand, we are close the forestry. But what happened after closing them? Compared to Sweden, we lost forest over the year after year, our forests keep losing. On contrary, the proper management of forestry, they blossom, their forest level still not lost away. So the overall climate effect of the country not change as much as we do in the Southeast Asian countries. And lastly, social inequality. If you feel anything unequal, in order to access to education, for example, healthcare, economic opportunities across different regions, these are why we are here, and these are why we would like to change. Initially, I would like to ask these as a Mentimeter, but I'm so afraid that what I will get from the audience. So I let it neutral first, and let me check what we got from the audience. As you see, the biggest font around here, we have around 11 audiences. So those who have not responded, please input anything, funny words, what you thought, I never know, or just guess. But right now, you all know that they are come from environment, social, governance. And for today, during about 2 hours of talk, you will hear this repeatedly, regardless of whereabouts are you. So we will keep repeated. Environment, what happened to the environment? What company do to the environment to qualify and to be in the stock market effectively? Because at least our SET Thai stock market require companies in the stock market to report their ESG activities. So we will jump into that. But the thought for our example audience here is sustainability, which is very good. And we have food seasoning, companies' commitment, social responsibility, and ethical conduct. So I still invite you, and in a bit we will peek in again. And during my speak, feel free to type in, or if you not follow, you can chat with your professors that listen to us with us. You can type in, talk with me. You can use your tools to translate my talk, perhaps. And you can also run the cross captions. And I believe as I'm Thai, so my English might be off a little bit. So if some words are off from cross caption, please use your best guess, or even type in the chat, utilize our chat box as much as you can. So I put up here, as we are accountant, ESG is the investor's new compass. So we all know the compass, right? So the tell where is the north, where is south, where is east, where is the west, where are the directions. So the investor used this ESG as the measure of direction the company would grow, GROW, and the company would lead in the next future. So what we have here, we have the increasing investor recognition Once you have a good ESG, companies, investors start interested in. Investors globally are increasingly recognize the intrinsic value of these environmental, social, and governance factors. Trillion in capital flows, trillion of dollars are now flowing into companies that demonstrate strong ESG performance. As a future leader, as a student, you can think something. I would like to do this a lot during my undergrad years in IE. For example, like trends are now there, right? The sustainable trend, the clean, the green, the good for the environment. You could think of, what if you would like to do a startup? What would you do? For example, the company needs to run the report and they all have tasks at hand, right? How about you learn the ESG, how they calculate, how they use statistics, how they come up with the score that's statistically proven good. And you start making small applications. You start using in your project. I believe you may need to do senior project. You can be a good startup that provide this service to the company in the future as well. Create the ESG gauge for the company, for example. The third point here is ESG is now the indicator of long-term success, because the ESG is viewed not just as a formal moral imperative, or not just to do something to cover up what company not doing good for the environment anymore. ESG is now be a critical indicator of long-term financial resilience and future success. Lastly, for the highlight point here, attracting capital and building trust. Your company have a good governance. You have initial trust to the investor that you operated right. You have, if the company that you work for or as yourself that about to graduate learn ESG well, you can embracing ESG and becoming essential for attracting capital and building enduring stakeholder trust in today's market. So just to think of the ESG as a new compass, it is just very tempted and seem very challenges. Again, think of ESG like your report card. I'm not sure what you use for the scale, like A, B, C, D scale, or like in MCRU, we use A to E. Like if you fail the class, you receive E grade. And most of the class can translate into percentage. So ESG is like a report card for companies. But instead of grading your math, your science, your accounting skills and scores, it includes the grade for how well the company treats the environment, their employees, and the community overall. So if the company treats the environment well, it reflects the whole country, that the countries as the unit have the ESG score as well for the environment. For the community and employee and working environment, that for the S part, social, relationship with people, how company deal with people. And as clear as it gets to run the company, no corruption, equal opportunity, show how company runs as a good as governance, good net of faith. So this is how they grade the company. Each individual companies, when they do good deeds, it combine, it lump sum, it compile to be the whole ESG for the country. Each country, if they do ESG grade, it combine, and the whole region, Southeast Asian, do good in ESG. Have more trust, has more business flow, and each region in the world do good you can imagine the environment that we concern, the problem itself, dissipate. Let's start with the first one. So today is easy. We jump right letters by letters. We look at hours. We just compare the two. Initially, I was gonna have some key, but it's very hard to do online. So I may ask the audience and note who has the right answer, perhaps, or maybe who has the quickest attention during the talk. And are you curious who is the highest score of ESG in our region? Who is the highest score of ESG in the world today as 2024 maybe? So let's dive into that in a bit. So, but first, we look at the first letter, environment. This is about a company impact on our planet, the air we breathe, the water we drink. Like we approaching so-called winter. We never have winter in Thailand though. But yeah, we call it winter, like colder season. And with what comes with after the rain in Bangkok in general, we have suffered the PM in the air we breathe, and the water we still good with that. But if we keep running what we did in the past, we may have the water problem very soon. I'm not sure how about Indonesia. We maybe, if anyone would like to share, you feel free to raise your hand or type in or just speak out. Let us know. The moderator will turn your microphone on as well. But the environment, both air, water, and forests, including land in the forest, that can sustain us. So the climate change action, despite we have the CBAM, the T words, many keywords, and those are another interesting area that even you as an accountant students and become accounting in the future, if you know the sustainable development goals, if you know the climate change implementation, that would be a good, more broad opportunity for you when you start working as well. The climate change, the reducing carbon emissions to combat the air pollution, we often seen in Jakarta, we often seen in other major cities in Bangkok as well. This what's happening here. Like many cars that sales in Thailand here made in Indonesia, like Peugeot, they all like complete built in Indonesia and import to Thailand. Many Toyota model also initiate in Indonesia, I believe, and there are link between us that the climate change is around us. The waste management, using less plastic, as I mentioned earlier in the talk, increasing recycling, I did mention that as well, and finding innovative solution to Indonesian plastic tsunami crisis. So if you heard the term, the plastic tsunami, you imagine the tsunami, right? And imagine in place of the ocean and become like large, ridiculous amount of plastic. The forest protection to protect Indonesia rainforests and biodiversity from threats like unsustainable palm oil production, for example. But this palm oil, they kind of like have their system like RSPO in place that have to manage the farm well and run the farm in the land that not deforest many years before the FSC and PFC come in action. Let me switch the screen quickly. And I mentioned earlier, like my second hat here as an advisor for the Federation of Thai Industry. We are the national members. I believe I could search for Indonesia as well. So right now we are on the second round of endorsement. So we maintain our re-endorsement. They approved already with minor non-conformities for the tree outside forests. So now in Thailand, we look for tree that people plant as fencing for their farmland. How do we guarantee those fencing can be used as a PEFC certified plant? As you see, my name listed there. So as my picture there, same as the picture I introduced to you today. So we run this since officially since 2016, but we start around 2013 on the Thailand Forest Certification Councils, or TFCC, under PFC. And if you haven't heard about the PFC before, scoot back quickly. The PFC main headquarters is in Zurich, Switzerland, and they are presumably non-profit organization, and they stand for the program P for the endorsement of forest certification, so PFC. So they have the alliance with national standard with perfect fit in each country individually. For example, in Thailand, so we run with the TISI, the Thai standard that comply with the PFC standard. And they promote sustainable forest management. They have independent third-party certification too. So you can dive into pfc.org if you're interested in. Right. So the PFC itself, not owned, start in 1999, and start from the small and family forest owner in Europe. They came together to create the forest certification system so that these forests are sustainable. They demonstrate the excellence in the sustainable forest management, or SFM. And now PFC is the largest forest certification system in the world. I did also ask you the second question, so if you're ready, you can reuse the link. We will move to the second part before we come back to the slide. We all heard about sustainable development goals. That's set. I hinted you there are 17 of them. Any one of them that come to your mind, type in, please. You may not have the right word, but if it's in the right context, I count them as you know. So those who has not joined, the organizer, please share the link again. They use the same link. Or you can see the link on the top here, just menti.com. Just switch from your Zoom to web browser and use the code 3603-5125 and type in the name. Would that come to your mind? Good. Thank you. You have basic needs. This is the hint. You have education. You have enough money to live on and so forth. Please type in. Thank you very much. Again, any question, please let me know. Now I tailor the environment story to Indonesian a little bit. I removed the company name because I'm not sure if they are startups. So, and some of them starting in almost 10 years ago. But let's say local startups are leading the way with the sustainable packaging solutions happening in Indonesia already. And they use renewable energy investments. The companies are proving that environment responsibility and profitability can go hand in hand. I read for you a little bit. So from biodegradable packaging, made from cassava to solar power manufacturing facilities. Indonesian businesses are showing the world how to do business responsibly. So the impact here, just one Indonesian company reduced plastic waste by using cassava-based biodegradable plastic by 70%, while increasing the profit at the same time, 25% to innovative packaging solution. See, just do good doesn't mean you have to suffer. When you're doing good, you can earn money at the same time as well. We can explore more a little bit on sustainable packaging innovation in Indonesia. Let's see the right-hand side, the right column top a little bit. Let me bring in the pointers. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's see the seaweed-based packaging. Startup like EvoWare pioneer edible and biodegradable packaging from seaweed. So this replaces single-use plastic that we use this day, right? And this creates sustainable livelihood of seaweed farmers. So farmer can grow more seaweeds. We have the packaging that edible, and we reduce the plastic waste at the same time. At the same trend here for sustainable packaging, innovation that I searched and found that these are brilliant innovation from Indonesia. Bioplastic pouch. The bioplastic products engineered for a dual purpose. Being the packaging itself can also repurpose as a fertilizer after use. They use cassava peel that can be composed to enrich the soil in the future. Another types are betel nut husks packaging. Local manufacturer in Indonesia craft reusable and durable packaging from betel nut husks. So these are innovative products, waterproof, even fireproof, microwave safe, and fully biodegradable. Lastly, we mentioned this before, the cassava-based packaging. The company utilized the industrial-grade cassava, create the biodegradable and compostable alternative to plastic. So we have bags, cups, straws that are now biodegradable and environmental friendly. So this innovation derived from cassava starch and peels. So there are many examples for the E that happening that company try to do. Beside this innovation, most companies are not linked to all these creators. What they can show for the environment, they can use renewable energy, integrated more solar system, for example, or they have a company procedure, turn off your light when not used. They can, the campus may already have their automatic light when people not present in the room, like MCRU bathroom, no longer open the light 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day anymore. Whenever people walk in, the light pop on with the fan. When there is no people inside, no motion detect, they just turn off by itself. These little things create the environment impact for the ESG. What if the company is so small, you may ask? What if they don't want to invest? They can just create a procedure. They can just put a little sticker or the big sign with color flag showing at the switch, turn off when not used, for example. Or they can just create the company procedure to be a practice inside their companies. And now come to yourself. What can I do? Or what can you do for the environment? You can start with your own. Use less plastic when possible. Bring your cloth tote bag to carry groceries. Bring your personal coffee I very like it in Thailand. It's reduced 5 to 10 baht when you order coffee with your own cups, for example. So you can do little things, and with these little things is combined and help the environment. Now, let's move to the second letters. S is for social. This is about company relationship with people, as I stated before. How company treating everyone with dignity and contributing positively to community. So this includes employee welfare, community engagement, diversity and inclusion. Before I dive into the slide I prepare, you can read them here. As I mentioned, the two companies I met the past weekends. One of the companies very impressed me. The owners himself treat us lunch, and we had a little too long lunch that we almost missed a plane. So we have to exchange the ticket because we were talking too long at the lunch time. He mentioned, by the way, every New Year our company have lotto ticket. One of the type of lotto is whoever pick this, whatever that the worker who has picked this had or have at the moment, the finance office of the company will pay it off as a bonus, as a New Year gift. I then asked, do you have the limit for the upper limit for what you have? He said there are some rules, but the upper bound is 2 million baht. And also there was an example that the guy was just in debt to buy a new motorcycle. Another case was a guy who was borrow money illegally off the market, and he not even paid the first payoff yet. And he lucky enough to get this ticket. And I asked those guys who were borrow money from people illegally, what did they do a couple months after? And the owner laughed. He said, yeah, he then borrow another money again. So I said, this will be the vicious circle. And then he said, that all we can do. Our HR check the workers. And as I observed during the walk through the buildings that they're making teach, people who do the CNC, the CAD, who run the 3D printings and such, or people who sit at the desks, they all seem overly happy. This is good environment, and this is a good place to work. He said 100% of the profit, 60% maybe go to the reinvestment or kept as the company growth. The 40% they go to worker welfare. So we're talking about fair wages, safe working conditions, good lighting, good temperature, better shares for workers who sit all days, opportunity for growth, and every worker deserves respect and dignity. So these are covered in the company employee welfare. The community engagement, you may have seen many in Indonesia as well. In Thailand, we have seen that a lot. They're building schools, they provide clean water, they're supporting artisans, and investing in community development. The diversity inclusion, they're ensuring everyone, regardless of background, age, sex, sexual orientation, has equal opportunity for success and leadership. So this is about company relationship with people. Let's see the social impact in action. The education access, company that involve providing scholarship for their workers, for provide scholarship for students in rural area, breaking the barrier to higher education. The company I mentioned name Hexasilum. At Hexasilum, they send people to pursue their study. Those who have not finished high school, they get the high school degree. Then follow on, they can get the undergrad degree, master. And even some of them, the company send them to PhD study for free. Women leadership. Ensure women have equal opportunities for leadership roles and career advancement. So these are examples for social impact in action. And we will dive back in detail when we look at the country score. At this point, I have not seen the chat pop up, so I guess we are good. So let's see our SDG input a little bit. So we have poverty. Obviously, we have the guarantee for no poverty. We have global progress there and free food. So let's see the SDG goals. First, that come in mind for the goals is, let me zoom in, no poverty, zero hunger. So a couple of us answered right. And basic thing, right? Good health and well-being, the third. The quality education, the gender equality, the clean water and sanitation. So these are the first 6 sustainable development goals set by the UN, the United Nations. Then we have the affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, the reduce inequalities, I'm going to read them all, right? Sustainable cities and communities, and responsible consumption and production. These are now 12. And the last 5 are climate action, life below water, like all those fishes, life on land, peace and justice and strong institutions. And lastly, partnership for the goals. Usually when the university participate and try to develop the SDG, the number 17 cannot be avoided, right? And the main purpose, number 4, quality education cannot be avoided. And then up to the university mission, so we may take place in different area of the sustainable development goals set by the UN. We move on to the third one, governance. G is for governance. This is about how a company is run, like the leadership of the company, the ethics, the transparency. The good governance build trust and ensure long-term success. As I mentioned earlier, trust can be easily broken. So if you have the strong foundation of trust, ESG is one of the tools that the company can show, because like investor never know the company before, right? So they just read the company mission, but once they look on the news, go on the browsing the information for the company, and if they know that this company have the strong governance, care for social, take care of their people well, and even have the procedure for the environment. Now the company just suddenly, from no-name company, can become the trustworthy company for the investor to invest in. So these governance include the anti-corruption, the transparency, and the board diversity. For the anti-corruption, the company that operating honestly without bribery, a critical issue for Indonesian and Thailand also business environment. The transparency is how to being open and honest with investor, with employee, and with the public about the operations and the goals of the company. The board diversity, having diverse leadership teams with different experience to make better decisions. So these are covered for governance. The governance excellence is the transparent governance isn't just about the rule that they follow. This isn't just about the procedure that's set for the ISO certification, but it's about building foundation for long-term success and positive impact on society. So the governance excellence, once they implement, they can easily publish. They can be clear, easy to understand on the ESG report every year. It can show what they're doing, what their goals are. It can build trust and stakeholders and create sustainable values for the company. So again, ESG, why is more than just a buzzword? Because it shows how does a company protect the planet. We think of carbon emissions. We think of waste management earlier. We think of deforestation for the environment, for the environmental. ESG is more than just a buzzword because it also shows how does a company treat people. This includes employees, customers, the wider community, commonly things like labor rights, diversity, and data privacy. So, social. And lastly, ESG is more than just a buzzword because it shows how a company runs. So, is it transparent? Does it prevent corruption? Is it leadership accountable? So, these are why it's important. Now, let's see something closer to us. I found the Economic Society SRCC report. They are one of the sources that run this kind of report. Good thing is the SRCC is publicly available to us. Bear with me. So I give you the link in the chat, and the organizer can also provide you guys chat box. So you can access the full report. The good thing for this report, if you open through the link I gave you, you may like it, like me, you may not like it, but they're easy to follow. And you can see from the abbreviation methodology they use, what formulas used for statistic correlation, the index they use, so as the appendix at the end as well. So these reports are pretty clear and you can easily follow. But I cut off the important chunk, so we all would like to know. They classify in cluster. Thailand and Indonesia, we are both in cluster D. The cluster D name is decent, good enough, pretty good, in other words. The overall rank of Indonesia without the moving average calculation is 6 and Thailand is 7. And when we do the moving average, it's backward, like Thailand is 6, Indonesia is 7, so we are comparable score. And if you look at the WISE score, the E part is 0.53 from 1. The G part, lowest score here is 0.46. And the social part is 0.68, the highest one. So you have 4 times more in terms of population compared to Thailand. So we have around 70 million people. Indonesian roughly 280 million people. We look at the GDP per capita, you have 5.27 thousand US dollars. And you have larger area, right? 1.89 million square kilometers. And your inflation rate is 2.6%. You are accountant, so if this number off, this is a report from 2024, so you can notice me and I can poke the reporter here at the SRCC as well. If we look at the best performance indicator in Indonesia, is the homicide rate, like not high homicide rate. Try to zoom in. And if you look at the homicide rate per capita, primary energy consumption there, the domestic material consumption per capita, 0.8, global peace index high, and press freedom index is pretty good. Like the press can express them freely. In Thailand, there's some law that prevented the press to report something as well. And the worst performance indicator is the FDI net inflow, same as Thailand though. So we have problem with the clean water and sanitation. Income and opportunity index, not quite high. Gender equality score as well, I believe due to the nature of the countries. And the corruption perception index, I think we are similar both. And FDI net inflow there is dangerously for this talk. So I try to skip this part. Let's see in more detail, and we come back to this when we see the Thailand score as well. So, among the three, as you see earlier, the governance rank number 5, the social rank number 6, the environmental rank number 11. And if you look, we have the domestic material consumption per capita pretty good, right? Because we all have similar both here, but like you have bigger areas. So you have good rubber production, palm oils, and you have good space to consume your domestic materials. The GHG emission per capita, I was surprised that both of us surpass. I may wrong when we look at the later stage. We could look it now actually. Are you curious who would be the first rank in our region? Can you guess? Anyone? Let's look at the top 10 rankings. I was surprised that both of us surpassed Malaysian. The problem with Malaysian is they have too much exposed to the oil, so their energy usage like restrict to like cheap oil or cheap gas. So the first rank is Bhutan in our area. Overall score is 0.7. Like the score are not diverse much. They are ranking number 1, and rank number 2 is Singapore, 0.63. And if we look through the environment, social, and governance score, as I mentioned, ESG is like a scorecard. So you have the methodology to report, right? The environmental score for Bhutan is high, right? Almost 1.79. Social 0.68 and governance is 0.62 or high. For Singapore, governance is high, 0.83. But due to the size and the impact, the environment score is only 0.4. And social score is 0.64. Let's look at our two countries. Look at Indonesia first. The overall score of Indonesia is 0.5599 versus Thailand is 0.5590. So we are like comparable. The environmental score in Thailand a little bit better, but we have interesting nuisance sustainability issue. So in Indonesia, you have 0.5273 score for environment. In Thailand, 0.5825. For the social score, the Indonesia is slightly higher, 0.6814 versus Thailand, 0.6534. And the governance score, as I said, we are similar both, 0.4620 for Indonesia and 0.4293 for Thailand. And overall score a little bit off, but not much. And when we dive into what happened here, you see the social score of 0.68. The education index is 0.6. The per capita primary energy consumption is almost 1. So as the homicide rate. For the governance, the FDI net inflow is low, as we see earlier slide, and the global peace index and press freedom index is quite high. And the accessor summarize here that the data wash for the balancing progress and challenge. The Indonesian exhibits positive strides in social areas like access to clean water and sanitation infrastructure. For the environmental hurdles, Indonesia have social advancement, but face the significant environmental challenge as the community grapple with high greenhouse gas emission and ongoing deforestation, potentially linked to the dependence on fossil fuels and logging industry, contributing to forest loss. These are crucial environment issues that need to be resolved. The governance concern is on low corruption perception score, highlight the need for stricter governance framework. I think we are almost the same, to address corruption and solidify Indonesian ESG performance. So these are the ESG score for Indonesia. Let's look at my country too. We saw similar trend earlier, right? I said we're going to combine. Make your eye freeze to the ESG WISE score, the triangle. And you see we have a similar trend, just different number, but similar trend. See? Similar trend. We have 0.53 for E, highest for social, and the G is a little bit low, right? When we look at Thailand, similar score. 0.58 up there, 0.65 for social, 0.43. And we have the same issue on the worst performance of the FDI net inflow. The different were the best performance for us are clean water and sanitation. Like we have the good education index, press freedom index a little bit low, and percentage of decrease in tree cover slightly getting better with this PFC that I mentioned earlier, and the enforcement, law enforcement, and the new overlook of the industrial forest that can be still sustained, but at the same time boost the economic growth. And if you look at the FDI net inflow, we are in similar trend, like both of our country are low. In Thailand, though, the gender equality score quite high. We even had a female prime minister, and this day many universities have the head figures as a female professors, and also many ministers in Thailand are female. Right. The most popular one is our current temporary new government, because we just have the new prime minister with the new cabinet. And the very first day that they not even assume the role yet, they visit my office, by the way. So the to be president and the minister of finance, which is a female, minister of commerce, minister of industry, and the vice prime minister, they all visit the FTI, Federation of Thai Industries, to get the insight on what the private sector think of Thailand and what should be done quickly for this short-term government, temporary government. So let's look into the closer look for the Thai score and the data wash for Thailand. We rank 7, so like after you guys, and we have the noisy picture of sustainability metrics, but our metric is not clear. And we have the environmental strengths. They have positive on clean water and sanitation, commitment, and we have forest conservation. I'm not surprised about this, because they have announced many years, like more than 10 years now, for the tap water, like drinkable tap water. Thai people still not trust that due to the piping system. So the water itself is good enough, but when it delivered, we still have question for that. And Thailand also have a commitment on forest conservation, too much commitment to the point that forests become destroyed after commitment. And then we have the reflect on the relatively low deforestation rate, which is good, positive. However, Thailand have the social development challenge. So we have good education and health metric. That still, even it's good, it still requires improvement in the rural area. We have limited access for quality education and healthcare that hinder the social development overall. And also the governance concern, because we are solidified position to the pathway of sustainability, so the governance needs to be packed more strong. So if we look closer, we have almost similar, and in Thailand, FDI net inflow, we look at the purple graph on the right-hand side, even worse. See, your FDI net inflow is the lowest one, but in Thailand, it's even like lower for these FDI net inflow. So why should you care? Again, it's not just a corporate buzzword. It connected to your future career, to your lifestyle, and the Indonesian that you will inherit. Like you run the country, per se. So as a future employee, as a future consumer, as the future leader, and as the future investor. So we will look at as the future consumer first. So your purchase are votes for responsible business. So look for example, I have to be vigilant. Interesting that I need to, okay, let me do this for the fair play. So when you buy or purchase anything, beside the goodness of the food, you look for these three logo at your milk carton, at your paper wrapping for your do you use letter size of paper, A4 paper, package, whether do they have FSC logo? Do they have PEFC logo? Look for this. If they don't have this kind of logo present, don't buy them. That's how you, as a future consumer, works. You boycott the company that not concerned for the environment, that not concerned for the deforestation free. Then the company that have the less sale, right? They know, what happened to our sales? We lack of this. Now we have to source the paper palm from the reputable source that can be traceable, so that we can put this logo on our package, so that we can tell our consumer that we are concerned for the environment. This is so your role is very simple. You nitpick, per se, NITPICK. You nitpick. You look for logo. You buy on from the reputable sellers, brands, per se. I will go on to the left-hand side here. Sorry. I lost my slide. Okay. So as a future employee, you work for a company that you can be proud of, right? You are the one of the driven gears of the company. You act yourself as the environmental mind, social mind, good with your friend, good with your parents, good with your professor, honest to your work. You have your build your own governance, create your good social around you, around campus, become a future employee, work in the community you can be proud of. As the future leader, you can now build the ESG principle into your venture from day one, which I will mention in a bit. And lastly, as a future investor, the ESG companies often perform better long term. It has been proven statistically, right? So if you're able to load the report I mentioned earlier, before I go on to the next slide, I browse them for you quickly. I open it here. The good part is not too thick. It's very easy to follow. And if you look at this here, they have methodology they use to evaluate our countries. They use the scientific approach, meaning they have formula that you have learned in your statistic class, you have learned in your math class, and they implement into calculating ESG. They also add the reference and appendix, how they come up with this method. So it's pretty good. I will browse into the methodology. See, for example, how do we know that these companies listed in Southeast Asia have good for the environment, like have not cut the tree in the forest? They look at the percentage of decrease in tree cover since the year 2000. For the European Union, if you follow the news, and actually congratulates to Indonesia, actually, because you have a free pass for the EUDR laws, right? For the palm oil import and also rubber, I think rubber as well. Like normal countries, like in Thailand, we has been rated as a low risk country, so we are not on the like spotlight. But in Indonesia, even better, like you sign the agreement. But right now, the people in the European Commission have to listen to another couple letters to the EUDR leader that they may postpone another year to implement this. But for the EUDR is 2020 for the tree cover. For this report, they used for the year 2000 to check the annual loss of tree cover at the stand level replacement for the vegetation exceeding 5 meters in height with index-net area. I think the EU, they use the 10 meter in height. And they have defined what the satellite imaginary they use, what the pixel. So it's pretty clear and fair play. I try to highlight this. And the harder one would be the social indicator, right? For example, how would they know that the education index, like, oh, we saw many schools around the local rural area in Thailand. Why we still have their concern? So the expected year of school index, the mean years of schooling index are set so that they can calculate. For example, the mean years of schooling is the average number of years of education received by people age of 25 and older, and convert from education attainment level using official duration on each level. So the admin could try to mute the microphone.
Sorry for Miss Julia. Could you mute your microphone, Miss? Thank you. Sorry, sir. You can continue.
Sorry. That's okay. It's happened. And if you look further down on this report, you will see the formula around the place. So we have normalized value, indicator value minus minimum value, divided by maximum value minus minimum value. For this, just for example. So you can check them out, and especially for the scientific approach, for those nerds like me, so we love this. As long as it can proven, we trusted them, right? So we have exponential decay average that they use. They have correlation-based weight average, and so forth. And they have the basic correlation metrics that I mentioned that you saw in your statistic class, and now they use in action. They even use a PCA, principal component factor analysis. So this is a good indicator of report that you could use as a reference. So as a future employee, your company value is now matter, right? So you follow the company guidance, the vision and the mission of the company. You have the social impact with the meaningful career. You have purpose over pay. Like you have your goals, even though at this point you get a little bit less pay, but you have your goal that with this part, you'll be stronger in this field of your choice, and you apply in your work, right? So a company with strong ESG are more stable and resilient. Like the Hexa Serum company that I mentioned during COVID-19, they almost no need to lay off any employee at all, despite the influx of the artificial teeth coming in their country, in their company, but not able to ship out because of the restriction of the situation at the time. And you have strong company with ESG, they're a better place to work, they have a positive reputation, and they also offer meaningful career growth, and they align with your value. So ask yourself what you look for when you look for a job. Don't you want to work for a company that you can be proud of, that you can say out loud, I work for, because this company is good for the environment. So your career should contribute to positive change, not just your bank account, but would be best if it could contribute to both, right? So as a future consumer, you research, you choose, you influence. Earlier I mentioned about the choose part, right? You pick the business that align with your values. You research on the company ESG practice before purchase. This would be interesting. And you demand the company to be more responsible. So your choice matter. When you buy product, you are voting for company that made it. Every purchase is a chance to support responsible business practices. As a future leaders and entrepreneurs, you have the power to be the change Indonesia needs. You can start businesses with ESG principles built in from day one, so don't need to fix anything in the future. You start with purpose. You build your mission around solving real problems in Indonesian society. You create business models that benefit all stakeholders, not just the shareholders, so build it responsibly. And you lead by example. You show other business that profitability and responsibility go hand in hand. It can be done. So, as we mentioned earlier, come back again. There are many Indonesian ESG success stories I look for. We have many green startups. We have social enterprise that turning waste into valuable products, and at the same time create jobs and local communities. We have renewable energy Indonesia investing in solar and wind power to reduce the carbon footprint and energy costs. And we also have platform providing quality education that access remote area, bridging the digital divide
Iya, halo Wak.
in
Wak,
education.
nanti minta tolong Wak. Kan Mama
Right? So your action plan is quite simple. It will be contrary here because this action plan is your own. So when I put the figure here, start small is huge. Start here first on the big ball of green here. Start small. Advocate recycling program, join environment clubs, volunteer for community projects. Every action counts on your own sake. So you can become ESG champion, let's say. And then you read ESG report I give you today. You educate yourself, follow the sustainability news, look at the company ESG report and stay informed. If you are on social media, there are many available for you to access for. If you don't mind, I'm going to do the quick screen capture. Thank you for those who turn on their cameras. And you ask the right question when interviewing for a job. Usually they will closing the interview argument, not argument, the interview, well, dialogue with, do you have anything to ask us? What is your concern in our company? Like last week, I interviewed 2 times. We are opening for a new position, like junior operator level 1. And with one position, we got 14 applicants. Among 14, we picked 4 so far. So first day, 3 persons, second day, 1 person. And if you ask back the right question, you can ask about their ESG initiatives, but ask carefully, because if they publish in their website, you will got the poke back that we have it published in our website, for example. But you can show that you care and put pressure on the company to do better. Now, you see this ripple effect on the diagram below here. As a consumer choice, I hope we are now going to vote for the sustainable future. So what you can do is you can support local. You can prioritize the ESG, buy from company with strong ESG, for example. And this will create the economic ripple, benefits spread across Indonesia. And then this ripple multiply the impact. Small choice, scale by millions. So your choice will lead to big change without you know it when multiply across the many customers. So local business that do ethical sourcing, like in Thailand, we have a funny problem, I think. Almost 10 years now, 8 years ago with monkey. Like southern Thailand, we use monkey to pick coconut. And then Americans spread the news, and then people stopped buying coconut milk from Thailand because they think we use the monkey labor. So that become the practical ethical sourcing. So your local business that support local community, that use sustainable materials, that treat workers fairly, that also give back to society you buy from them, right? That then they can grow and they can do stronger work. I believe the generated psi would be wrong, right? If you could translate, let me know, but I think it would be wrong. What does it mean? I don't know. The ripple effect, when we zoom in, we will start from our peer first. Your individual action, like as the individual student, you can now, today, you don't have to wait at all. You do your sustainable choice. Starting tomorrow, you bring your own coffee mug to class. You don't drink water bottle. You refill your shampoo, you can start small. Create the responsible habits. And then you extend to your peers. Your choice influence your classmate, your boyfriend, girlfriend, if available, your close friend, and your colleagues. Then your peers become your campus and community influence, the green programs, the local initiatives. So your campus can shape the campus culture and practice. With this, you expand to community, local community, and norm shift from this behavior. The company in Indonesia now also shifted because people don't buy anything that not ESG compliance, for example. So the future is in your hand. Let's make this sustainable, fair, and prosperous one together. So you are not just student, you are the architect of Indonesian future. The ESG principle here, environment, social, governance, you can embrace today, will shape the businesses, communities, and country you will lead tomorrow. So these challenges are real, not just on paper. So this is your power to address them. Start now, start small, but start with purpose. So if you need to do the senior project, think of ESG on your mind. One of my newest PhD students think of it on his mind already. So he integrated the ESG in the TILE, business practice. We will run the statistical analysis on it and integrated the ESG on his research. So with this, you have the tools from your classes. You apply those skills and technology as your tools. With that, you have knowledge, use wisdom, and your learning, and passion, drive lasting community change. And you can start your ESG journey today. So I think that's all for my talk today. And we now open, I think, Miss Julie, they can ask in local language too if they want, or share their idea as well. And I think my Mentimeter not working well with them, which I prepare the last section to let you give feedback. So despite the low audience, so you may need to share the link again and let Frost a little bit, let them ask questions if they need, if they have. If not, please share the link also, and then this link will lead to the survey, that a small survey. I think the VOC4SI Volume 2 may have their own way to evaluate, but I did prepare the evaluate and will share with the organizer afterward as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Choat, for enlightening presentation. I think your presentation, very detailed explanation, sir, from the definition of ESG, and also you search about the ESG values in Indonesia and then connecting ESG with the career. I think it's like a multi-credit lecture, even though in 1 hour, sir.
Right, and I'm not dive in depth because when I talk with Dr. Sambas Kesuma, I'm not sure if I should force them to do this small calculation. I don't like that. So it's level up of the student to listen to the stranger for one, and then they can broaden their mind. During my talk, I hope I can spark their even just a good Google search on Indonesia that very advanced in the environment is good start.
Dr. Choat, now we move to the Q&A session. For the participant, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we will address them shortly. Or maybe you can raise your hand.
You can write.
Yes, and then ask the question directly to Dr. Choat.
And also, I'm not sure on the user end. I will try on my phone now. This Mentimeter, if you could scroll to next page by yourself, would be good. So you can, I will check them. you can try help us get the feedback in. Otherwise, I will trust the organizer to get the feedback.
I try to fill the feedback, Mr. Choat, and then I can click the next slide.
You can, right? You can.
Also, yes.
Okay, good. Where do you go next? You will be on this, and then you can just give your this one have only 4 items. So I ask very short feedback. I will try myself.
For the participant, please, you can also answer the Mentimeter. The link already shared in the chat column.
Because I'm always create them, but not much. Or you can skip. You can do this, but I'm not sure. Can I change the page back and forth? I don't know. Maybe not. So if I go back here, people will see the same with me, right? Oh yeah, because if you ask me to swap the slide, so I will go back and forth until, but you may not able to swap it yourself, I think. That's a bad part of it. Okay, I noted it. Don't worry, we never know who answer what anyway, so it's bright, okay? How do you see it? I'm open the chart.
Okay, for
May you
the
share
committee
link
member.
again? Yes.
Yes, maybe the member, could you share again the link?
I will do that for you too.
I think this one.
And I will scoot back and forth. For those who answer already, please be patient.
No email, right, sir? You don't know our email, right?
What, pardon?
You don't know our email, right, for the answer, the Mentimeter?
What do you mean?
No name.
No name.
Yes.
No name. No, we don't know who answer what or who answer triple or whatever. No, we don't know. We don't correct them at all.
Okay, for the participant, during your answer, the Mentimeter, you can also ask the question through the chat, or you can ask the question directly and open your camera.
I'm sorry for those who tried to answer earlier. I might switch around so you can continue. So I try to cover them all. Once I see enough, like good number of people participate, then I go back to like this one, only 7 people. So feel free to type in anything or if you heard anything. I think this is a good trend, and I don't want to dive into too technical. So this, I believe you could follow. Okay.
I think we have one question,
Yes.
Dr. Choat. Okay,
me-
I will read
Okay,
the question
please.
directly.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good morning. My name is Sarah. My question is, how can young professionals start integrating ESG into their careers, especially if their industry isn't traditionally focused on sustainability?
Thank you, Sarah. By what do you mean by your industry is not traditionally focused on sustainability? I would suspect accounting, correct or not? But ESG is almost everywhere, as I mentioned. Like you can integrating into your careers by like never cheat in your study for one. But this quality is just the practice that you do in yourself. Nobody can gauge them, right? So if you would like to expose as your like plus qualification when you apply for your respectable career, you participate in the ESG driven activities. You learn in depth on what is the ESG involved, how do they calculate, and you tap your performance. Like, for example, you learn the extra spreadsheet that they calculate the ESG, then you become like more convincing and have experience with the area. Now, when you go to your career, beside your specific quality, you have like experience involving in this ESG report, so you can, who knows, you may have extra like qualification that they look for. Not sure I'm as clearly, but easiest start by yourself, doing the whole three thing: recycle, reuse, use less plastic yourself. Then you can create the club during your study, or find your advisor, get some extra curricular during your study that will build into your portfolio or CV, right? And for more technical, you expose yourself on the ESG report and calculation, and then you make yourself understand. You can read for it in the academic paper as well. So there are many ways to include them. We have Miss Julie. We have
For Miss Sarah, is it clear, Miss Sarah? Because we have another question, we move to another question. Good morning, Dr. Choat. I'd like to ask, when we apply ESG framework to countries instead of corporation, how does that change the way we understand sustainability performance across South and Southeast Asia? And also, could you share how the exponential decay average method helps make ESG indicators more relevant over time, especially for developing economies? Best regard, Adi Chat Putra Sinambela.
Thank you. Thank you, Adi. So
Adi
as,
Putra, yes.
as for Adi Putra, sorry. When we look at the ESG score, that this one particular example, let me move this meanwhile. This one particular example do on their report, and they have couple methodology to calculate, right? Let me put this on, sorry for the audience. For other people too. So as you see, the AI helper for the exponential decay is a process where a quantity decreases at a rate proportion to its current value, right? Now, as most of the Southeast Asian countries, we are all like challenging many problems differently. With this proper rate, you can see in the appendix of the example report, it helps to quantify and kind of like dissipate the smaller value for over time. So right now we're developing, we kind of like have like a weight that help us quantify the moment of the score responsible to each of the three terms at first. So with this, as the whole countries, we can monitor what's going on. Like the one that I would not like to touch upon is governance, but it's obvious. Even though I'm not speak, so gonna speak. So in Thailand, like the clear and corruption-free is hard to come by on every level. So with that, we are developing, right? We use the proper exponential decay to quantify those numbers. We cannot use the now score, otherwise our ESG will get out of the class, the current class, and it will instead of boosting countries to grow their ESG awareness, may have like we not care about ESG, so that we would not like that to happen. We have Amanda as well.
Okay, for the hello, sir. My name is Amanda, Dr. Choat. What is the similarities can you find between local market in Indonesia and Thailand? The similarities, sir.
Similarity. I never visit Indonesia yet, but I visit Malaysia.
I think, sir, I went to Thailand 2 times. I think maybe the similarities like many traditional market, right?
Right. And my family is half. My dad's side is in the southern Thailand, so we kind of have similar curries in a way too. Right? Curries. Many. What do you mean by markets? Like general markets? So
Oh, yes. For the Amanda, maybe you
maybe you
can
type in a little bit more.
yes, or maybe you can ask the question directly. Open your audio, Amanda, maybe, because I think the question is not really clear. Find between local markets.
And yeah, Andy Putra, I try to see your point as well. I think beside this report, as a researcher, we can come together and look at all the tools we have on each side of our world, like on accounting side, on education side, on engineer side, perspective, I mean, and we can propose better ESG quantified tools, and we run through as a research as well. We could do that. The one that can capture the true level of each of the element would be good, right? Because you cannot just use cross-board figure and pigeonhole the number. I think the opportunity are open, and if we look, I think we have which one the people not okay. I will obtain. I left here just in case people would like to participate. But we have good enough figure. But if we look at Google Scholar and strict them, but I'm at home. Today is Thai holiday for the late King Ramanai passed away. So we have extra holiday. That's why I picked today on purpose, because we are free today. I mean, I am free today morning. This is pure random. I never searched this before, to be honest. So there are opportunity as a researcher across the board, different field as well. Like, see, they have the use of ESG score in academic literature. So we build upon this guy would be a good start. And there are different performance measurement system, right? We have financial performance evaluation, different way, right? We can apply, and see which value we could quantify in environment, in social, in governance. And then we come up with the new formula, purpose, proof, and then they can use them. So I think this would be good. But not good for students, so I'll talk with among professors together. So, but for students who look for something to do in the senior project, you can also think of ESG and integrated them in it. This is a new term to me. Who know, please explain to me. Scientometric analysis. I don't know what it is. Have you heard of this? This is new to me. Oh, we have new question. It's a I never heard of this term, maybe social science oriented. Have any of us heard about this term? Scientometric. It's a quantitative study of scientific research, analyze publication, citation, other scientific output, like patterns, grant to understand research trend impact. I think we may not have more others. I think we did good in time, right, Mr. Yuri? Lastly, I would left the open-end input. How can we improve this training session? One of the things, I apologize, I did not send the slides in advance enough, or maybe we have the open-end questions, or not open-end, but like pre-test would be maybe good or not good. I'm not sure for the group. And is it volunteer or credits? The student who listen here, do you check? Is it volunteer or they need to come for credits? So there are many factors. So you feel free. Again, we don't know who you are when you answer.
Is this the last question we need to answer, sir, for the Mentimeter?
Yes.
Okay, we have
yes.
another question. Sir, how to make something that ESG thing into reality? Because sometimes ESG is so expensive if not being supported by company or government.
Well.
So maybe it's difficult to do ESG without the support or of company and government. Maybe how to make it real.
Real. Well, it's as I mentioned, start small. So like for environment, everyone can do it, right? But if one of everyone that I mentioned happen to work somewhere together, then those companies will benefit automatically. This is a quick example. Like at my workplace, we have trouble with food waste. So the maid, the cleaning lady, come up with the clever solution. So she set up the bucket. People discard the water and waste. The left of the food she will feed to the chicken, but she bring this bucket every day, close off the lid, and then later on the company, in this case FTI, saw it, so they set aside the budget to get the machine that can compose the food, so that come later. So start small, start from yourself, start with something that not using money. As I mentioned,
I think Mr. Choat already left, or maybe my connection not really good.
I think his connection is the one who's not good, so he left out of the Zoom meeting. Miss.
So Mr. Choat connection, right? Not
Yeah,
us.
so we will wait for him in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry, I think I get cut off a bit.
Okay, sir. You can continue. The last things is about how to make ESG become a real things.
Real. So as I mentioned earlier, to make ESG available, start from yourself, and once it kick in, the benefit come afterward. So that in short. But for the social session that most company doing as the extracurricular, those use money. So in reality, if the company not make enough profit or not big enough, they cannot afford that, right? But they could make their employee happy by doing small things without large investment. And most of the company that require to do report, they kind of effort, like they in the stock market, so they have enough power to invest. So those are the categories that can invest in the extracurricular as ESG. But anyone can start by themselves. As I mentioned, those examples at the FTI earlier. So from the food waste to chicken, later on we have like a small composer that can be compose the waste into fertilizer. So use less than 5 days, we got the free fertilizer. I'm trying to get the chat open again. Oh, every chat's still here. I usually love but it's hard in Thailand student as well. I usually keep asking student, and if it's undergrad class, I always walk in the back of the class because if I'm not if I'm not took their phone, they always on some kind of games at some point. I went to China, and Chinese universities, in front of the classroom, they have like a pigeon hole. Each student have to put their phone there during the class. But we did not do that in MCIU yet.
We also did not do like that in Indonesia, in USU especially.
Partly, we don't want to be responsible for their valuable things. But at some point, we may have to ask them, like, turn it face down on your table, right? But we cannot watch them all the time. So
Yes. How about the computer, sir? Sometimes maybe beside the phone, they also use the computer. Maybe not open the relate topic during the lecture.
Yeah, that also really hard to control. And do you have the same AI problem? Instead of discourage, I'm now encourage them, but use it differently. they cannot just ask AI and answer back right away. So they have to tailor them. If you push any agent, I mean, ChatGPT, Gemini, Crowd, Copilot, any agent hard enough, the answer become yourself. And Gemini, that if you paid, I accidentally paid because I need the Google space for photos. So I think, okay, so I just get, even though initially I don't like it too much, but if you ask frequent enough and push enough and then use it wisely, you cannot avoid it anymore. So instead of discourage, I encourage them. For undergrad, it's still hard because most of the time they're close note or allow a piece of note in the paper, a piece of paper in the exam room. But the graduate class, they usually have take-home exam or assignment. So I clearly force them to cite what they ask on the AI.
Sir, I think we have the last questions from Julia. Hello, Dr. Choat. I'm Julia about the future career that focus on how sustainability and responsible business will shape job opportunities in the years ahead. What skills should we or young generation start developing now to prepare for ESG related careers? Thank you.
You're welcome, Julia. So as I mentioned in the talk as well, I think climate change knowledge, if you know that regardless of your field of study would benefit yourself. And ESG is simple enough, and part of the G, it cannot be done by newly graduates, so don't worry about them too much. But ESG report, basic usage of scientific terms or statistic terms that use in ESG help. So climate change is the answer if you make yourself understand and know how to calculate, for example, and how to benefit from carbon credit, especially we are in the good zone, right? We lucky enough to have land and good weather all year round to plant. So those two things help you beside your core value of your study, that help you get more chance in the career. This thing cannot use replacement AI or any tools just yet. So you yourself. And also, as I mentioned with Julie earlier, the smartness use of AI, prompt engineering, use it wisely. You may use it for fun first. I barely use them, like generate photo and such. I'm just very skeptical on putting my photo in their server to let them learn from my picture. So I did not use them at all, actually. But if you use them wisely on different way to captivate the answer, like I'm not sure in USC has the Microsoft subscription like we do. That come with the Copilot, so you don't have to pay anything. So you learn, and there are many media and classes on campus mentioned about AI. Use it wisely, use it efficiently on your work, like AI in Excel for your accounting purpose. This skill, like definitely, like if 3 person come in interview and one of them beside basic skill, like office skill now basic, right? Microsoft. If you plus Canva efficiently, know how to organize things, and then plus you know how to use AI efficiently, then you are on the lead of your future career.
Okay, I think that's all for the question, sir. Okay, everyone. As we come to the end of our today's discussion, allow me to highlight a few key takeaways from Dr. Choat. We have seen how ESG is transforming careers. It's not just a trend, but a framework that shapes job choices, leadership, and ethical value. By aligning our careers with ESG, we contribute positively to society and environment. And then while ensuring long-term success and meaningful growth, as future leaders and employees, embracing ESG will guide our careers and the businesses we support. And Dr. Chok also said that for ESG, not only as a worker, but also as a consumer, we also have the responsibility. I think this session reminds us that success goes beyond skills and knowledge. It also involves values, ethics, and awareness for our impact on society and the environment. And also the last quote from the Dr. Choat, I take the quotes, Dr. Choat, the future is in your hands. Let's make sustainable, fair, and prosperous, one and together. Dr. Choat, thank you again for the sharing session today with us. Before we officially close, let's have a group photo sessions. Everyone, please turn on your camera and show your best smile. Okay, I only see a few audience open the camera. Please open your camera because the committee member will take the photo even though on virtual Zoom, you need to show your best smile. Okay, for the committee member, ready? Take the photo. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, for another slide. 1, 2, 3. Is it enough for the committee member, maybe? Okay, done for take the photo, right? Okay. And I would like to remind everyone for the audience that you can get the electronic certificate, but you need to fill the attendance form through the column chat. You can fill your name. Okay. For Dr. Choat, we also like to present a certificate of appreciation to our speaker, Dr. Choat Inthawongse, for his contribution and inspiring talk. Okay, Dr. Choat, so this is the certificate because you already spent your time to us sharing about the ESG to young generation. Thank you very much, Dr. Choat. So even though virtual, we also want to appreciate through the certificate maybe. Please take the photo maybe.
I did. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Choat and the audience. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. On behalf of the committee, we sincerely appreciate your time and participation in today's event. We hope today's webinar has brought you new insight and motivation as we continue to grow and prepare for the journey from campus to career. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Thank you for your attention and enthusiasm. And we hope to see you again in our next VOC4SI Level Up event. Have a wonderful and meaningful day ahead. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye-bye. Sampai jumpa.
Sampai jumpa, Sir.
Sampai jumpa. Bye.